The library. You must not interrupt his custom.
House of the Dragon Season 2 is shaking things up, deviating significantly from George R.R. Martin's Fire and Blood. This prequel, based on a fictional history of House Targaryen, dives into the Dance of the Dragons, a fierce civil war between Rhaenyra and Aegon II Targaryen over the Iron Throne. The show focuses on just a slice of the book, so the writers have to get creative, especially with character dynamics and internal struggles. The cast breathes life into these Targaryen figures, adding depth and complexity that the book's historical format doesn't fully explore. Welcome back to your nerdy show. I'm your host, Captain Jack Sparrow. Season 2 introduces timeline shifts and leaves out some elements from the book, making the story more engaging and cohesive for TV. These changes, along with the stellar performances, keep fans hooked while adding fresh layers to the epic Targaryen saga.
We cannot. Again.
What Criston Cole is doing with Alicent. Oh, the twists and turns in House of the Dragon keep us on the edge of our seats. So, remember how Criston Cole and Rhaenyra had that big falling out in Season 1? Well, things take an even juicier turn in Season 2. Criston becomes Alicent's sworn shield after their rift, and guess what? The show reveals they've become romantically involved. Talk about a plot twist. What's fascinating is that this relationship is a fresh addition by the show's creators. But if you think back to the very first episode, it actually makes sense. Alicent was clearly smitten with Cole from the get-go. It's almost like the seeds were planted early on for this romance to bloom. Considering the tangled web of feelings both Criston and Alicent have towards Rhaenyra, their relationship fits perfectly into the story. It's not just about attraction, it's also about their shared history and complicated emotions. All these elements make their pairing both intriguing and believable in the context of the show.
When you ride. Wouldn't that be fun, Jaehaerys? Should the Master of Coin be your royal steed?
Where is Mailer? House of the Dragon sure put a twist on the whole blood and cheese situation, huh? In the books, things get even crazier with Helena's kids. See, in the show, they only show Aegon and Helena having twins, Jaehaerys and Jaehaera. This makes things a lot simpler for the assassins. Just one little dude to choose from. They even have trouble telling the poor things apart. But here's the thing, the book throws another Targaryen kid into the mix. A younger son named Mailer. And guess who Helena picks to save when the assassins come knocking? Yep, Mailer. Talk about a tough decision. Of course, things don't go according to plan. Those assassins are ruthless, and even though Helena tries to protect Mailer, they end up killing Jaehaerys instead. Double whammy. So the show definitely streamlined things for blood and cheese, but the book version adds a whole new layer of tragedy to the whole ordeal.
It's of great value.
Helena didn't offers herself. Whoa, that scene with Helena in House of the Dragon was brutal. Here's the thing, in the book, she actually tries to be a hero and offers herself up in exchange for her kids. Can you imagine the guts that takes? But nope, the assassins are on a mission. The show takes a different route. Here, Helena goes straight to pointing at poor little Jaehaerys. It's a tough call, because there's no clear explanation of why she picks him. Some folks think she might have some crazy prophetic Targaryen visions and already knows his fate is sealed. That's messed up, but hey, it's Westeros. Another theory is that she's just trying to save one child at any cost. Whatever the reason, it's a heartbreaking moment for sure.
If we loose the dragons to war, there'll be no calling them back. We must proceed cautiously.
Fat old Lord Tully.
Alicent was not there. In the book, Alicent being forced to watch the whole thing adds a whole new layer of horror to the scene. It makes you wonder if they were trying to traumatize her on purpose, on top of the revenge. The show changes things up by having her be off with Criston Cole, which makes the scene less brutal but also changes the dynamic completely. It seems like they were going for a different kind of tension, like Alicent missing out on something awful but also potentially being caught in her own secret rendezvous. What do you think? Did Alicent's absence make the scene less impactful, or do you think it creates a different kind of suspense?
I want Aemon Targaryen.
I want Aemon Targaryen. Hold on. The blood and cheese scene just got a whole lot more interesting. Here's the crazy part. In the book, Rhaenyra isn't even directly involved in the whole eye for an eye revenge plot. In House of the Dragon, when Rhaenyra storms back after finding poor Lucerys, she makes it crystal clear, Aemon gotta go. This definitely sets the stage for some serious action. But here's the twist. In the book, Fire and Blood, Rhaenyra gets a cryptic message from her ever so slightly unhinged Uncle Daemon. It just says, a son for a son. Basically, demons taking matters into his own hands. Rhaenyra doesn't even know how he plans to get revenge, which is honestly kind of terrifying. So the show definitely throws Rhaenyra right into the heart of the revenge plot, while the book keeps her a bit more in the dark. Which way do you think is more dramatic?
I had this commission for Prince Lucerys.
Alyn's introduction. Look out, new season of House of the Dragon bringing the changes. Alyn of Hull is a fresh face this season, but they've mixed things up a bit from the books. First off, they've tied Alyn's story directly to Corlys Velaryon. Remember how Corlys seemed like a goner at the end of season 1? Surprise! Alyn swoops in and saves the day, pulling him from the wreckage. This whole rescue scene is brand new for the show. In the book, things are a bit different. Alyn's known for having cool silver hair, just like Corlys. But on the show, forget the Targaryen vibes, Alyn's rocking a bald head. So the showrunners are definitely playing around with Alyn's character. Will his hair magically grow back? Is saving Corlys going to be a big turning point for him? We'll have to wait and see what unfolds. Sarah Snow is not here. The mysteries of fire and blood, and the stories we can't get enough of. One particularly juicy bit revolves around Sarah Snow, the rumored bastard daughter of Lord Rickon Stark, who happens to be Cregan Stark's father. Her tale comes into play when Jacaerys Velaryon makes his way to Winterfell. Allegedly, Jacaerys falls head over heels for Sarah, marries her, and even sleeps with her, despite being betrothed to Baela Targaryen. Scandalous, right? But here's the kicker. The legitimacy of this story is super questionable. The accounts vary wildly. Some say Sarah Snow never even existed, and Jacaerys, being the honorable type, would never betray Baela like that. Others suggest that while Jacaerys and Sarah might have had a fling, they never actually tied the knot. Interestingly, House of the Dragon decides to skip over this entire saga. Maybe it was too messy, even for them, but it's these ambiguities and conflicting tales that make Fire and Blood such a riveting read. You never quite know what's true, which leaves plenty to the imagination. White Walker's hint. House of the Dragon is weaving its story more closely with Game of Thrones through some intriguing new plot threads. Remember Aegon's dream from Season 1? Well, Season 2 keeps this connection going, especially with the introduction of Cregan Stark. In an intense scene atop the wall, Cregan warns Jacaerys about a looming threat from the north, death itself. This is a big departure from the original lore, hinting that in this version of Westeros, the threat of the White Walkers was a more recognized danger. It implies that the noble houses were already thinking about how to prepare for this ominous future. Cregan also drops another bombshell. He claims that King Jaehaerys and his dragon, Vermithor, once visited the wall but refused to venture further. This is a completely new detail exclusive to the show. It adds another layer of mystery and connection between the histories of House of the Dragon and Game of Thrones, making the impending threats and ancient prophecies feel even more intertwined. These additions not only enrich the narrative, but also tie the two series together in fascinating ways, offering fans old and new plenty to theorize about. So these are the things series makes different from the book. What you think, just let us know in the comments. Until next video, bye-bye and take care.
No, what the heck, I'll laugh anyway.